Hi, so good morning, good afternoon. So glad you could join me. We are, look at this. We are in chapters 21 and 25 uh, through the last week of full coursework, and August 6th through the 12th. And then August 13th through the 18th, we have a final. That's finals week. So hopefully you have gotten through all of your 15 through 20 and now are ready to begin 21 through 25. So let's take a look at that. See where we're at. We continue through with the historical lineage of art history, and we should have worked all the way through. Yep, Africa, Oceania, and the Americas, and now we're on to 21 through 25. Okay, so as you can see, we cover late 18th and 19th century, early 20th century, the case for abstraction, between world wars, postmodern movements, and postmodernity in global art. So let's just take a real quick gander through this chapters 21 through 25. We start with neoclassicism, romanticism. Again, a lot of these short little videos by Phil Hansen, who talks specifically about each one of these things. All of these art movements are things that you should be aware of. Not necessarily something, some of them you will resonate with and some of them you won't. Hopefully it will give you a little clearer idea of what each movement is. Fauvism, Cubism, Constantine Brancusi's The Kiss. And again, we're going to be moving through these things and talking about things that we've talked about before in previous chapters, but a little more in depth and, of course, linearly. Here's Stieglitz's The Steerage, which is your post, remember, about from the photography section. A little bit of Georgia O'Keeffe, Futurism. Oh, look, Duchamp. One more time. And The Case for Abstraction. So this is a great little PBS movie that is like, it'll blow your mind because it's super fast, but it is very informative. So you might want to watch that a few times over. And Between the World Wars. So we talk a little bit about Dadaism, again, Marcel Duchamp, Surrealism, and building a new society through constructivism. Alexander Rodochenko, sort of considered sort of the father of graphic design. Gestalt, international architecture, Picasso's Guernica. If you ever get a chance to see this in person, it's huge. It's takes up a whole sort of museum wall, and it's very they take you through and you can look at it and give you sort of parts and pieces that you might not have noticed looking at it before. Frida and Diego's work together, and again in photography, sort of what's happening at that time. This is Margaret Bourke-White's piece, There Is No Way Like the American Way. Latin American modernism, more about Frida Kahlo's work. There's so many, we looked at Brava's work in photography. He's sort of considered the father of Mexican photography. And there's a lot of people to look back on and realize that they all kind of combine together. And there is the abstract expressionists and the New York School and Rothko. I think, I don't know if I put this in here, How to Paint Like Rothko. I think that was in another chapter. Assemblage, happenings, events, pop art, minimalism, Saul LeWitt, Robert Rauschenberg, Robert Smithson's Spiral Jetty, which is disappearing. Interesting thing about installation and land art, you have to always sort of go back and either you let the environment take it over, or you go back and shore it up so that it continues to live on. A little more, we get more into work from artists that are still with us. Carrie Mae Weems, Vito Conte. Talk a little bit with the Guerrilla Girls. It's a nice little bit about their work. Feminist post-war art. And postmodernity and global art, and the history of the arts through postmodernism and deconstructive architecture. And then this is great. I love this. This is street art. And why do I love it? I love it because it's very relevant, and I kind of grew up with this graffiti on the subways. And so I love the fact that they've made a little video about this. And yarn bomb trees. Sometimes you see these in cities, even in Modesto sometimes. And then we look at some lowbrow to newbrow art, and sort of the streets, and bringing that stuff into the gallery setting. And that starts with our sort of discussion about graffiti art, and then global art. This is a little bit about the plastic ocean, the official trailer for that, and then sort of, globalism in terms of us looking at the world in totality. So next, we do have your last journal prompt, okay? So this is about nature and technology, and we're looking at the Chris Jordan digital images that in that last previous section there, and talking about them and writing about them, giving additional examples and references. So that's your last journal prompt of the class. Yay! And then final on review. So here is the things that your finals. Oh, look, I have to change your dates. Look at that. Sorry about that. So your final is coming up, okay? It's going to be next week. Don't worry about it. Just concentrate on chapters 21 through 25 and getting through that and learning that. Your final will be online. It will be an open book, obviously, test, and you have a certain amount of time to finish it. I will open it up on a certain day, and then it will be closed on a certain day. So if you have anything that you're working on, if you've gotten any extra time given to you to complete work, please get it finished before next week. And I will do a short little video before your final, and then you can take it and be done. Okay? All right, so if there's any questions, please feel free to email me and let me know. Otherwise, I will see you at the beginning of next week. All right, bye.